and even some of the fees and the other department revenue that comes in through, like dog license and deer tags and some other payment fees that come in through assessment office and some others. They're all looking pretty good, actually, a little bit better than we were last year.
The big problem is what's the federal government going to pass through?
Right.
What's the state government going to pass through, and when? And when?
So you're sort of second or third in line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get your hands up for that.
Yeah, I saw there was Kim Ward, who's the head of
President pro
the
tempore.
Republicans. And she said maybe they just pass a 6-month budget. The hang-up seems to be the transportation and education pieces of the state budget.
They want school vouchers as big hold up.
Neither one of those things are a big impact on us.
Yeah.
So if they want to do a 6-month budget with everything else going forward so that we can plan what's going to come through the CYS, what's going to come through to
Mental health,
community
big.
development, and the like. That would be helpful while they try and sort out the transportation issues and the stipends for education. 'Cause obviously, we have no direct purview over education.
Has there been any changes since the property reassessment, or do you notice anything that's different, or is just the money just shuffled differently? Or
A lot of appeals.
Oh yeah. Does more money come in, or is it just?
A lot of appeals, they did slow down a little bit. We do have a little bit of an influx now. The new appeal process just opened up in June. So I think it's moderated pretty good. We don't really get many complaints or issues anymore. The appeals process is kind of its own entity, and people seem to be working
I'm still
through that.
complaining. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
There's
no way that was going to go off without.
No.
Yeah,
an uproar.
the only impact from that was, again, with the numbers of appeal, with the first assessment, with the millage that we set, anticipating the 57, 58 million of revenue, we do have a little bit of a structural deficit in that the appeals brought the total value down, and we didn't get a full 100% return on the millage that we had set versus that original total value for property. So,
But we promised to be revenue neutral,
Yeah.
and we fulfilled that promise.
But with all the appeals coming in and lessening that, we fell, I think, 500,000, 750,000 short of what we anticipated.
But we knew that.
Yeah.
You know that. There's no way to
we knew it was going to happen.
determine.
We just weren't sure how much of a shortfall it may be. Don't know. May have to rectify that sometime down the road. But.
One of the news stories we had today was talking about another popular tenant leaving the Beaver Valley Mall. We touched a bit on the mall last month you guys were here, but it seems to be happening more and more. Stores leaving the mall, and any conversations from the county level with the owners or
The one thing I do
future
know
plans
is we're
are?
negotiating. One of our agencies is negotiating with them over the senior center, and we're not happy. We're really not happy with what's going
Significant
on.
rent increase, which is I'm sure driving
Yes.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
We've always heard that, yeah.
Those folks.
Yeah, we negotiated that back in the day. Joe Spanik and Charlie Camp and I to bring it all together to get rid of the satellites and make it so that it would be easy for people by bus to get to the centrally located place, and we got a good deal. And apparently we're struggling now to get another good deal, and we need a good deal to stay there. It's obvious.
It just seems so counterintuitive to a lot of people. Okay, you're losing tenants and you're raising rates. They don't seem to go hand in hand unless there's another plan that's in play or something.
I mean, I've been a long-time advocate going back 10, 15 years, even at my chamber days. It's funny because I did all that downtown development. Our legacy riverfront towns, our 8 core riverfront towns, they're starting to come back. And I think a pendulum's swinging to that. People want the personal service, the ability to walk to the downtown Beaver or Ambridge or Beaver Falls or Manatee, having a nice turnaround. And people like that kind of shopping versus driving to the mall and doing interior shopping there. And much like the malls and the big box stores kind of undermine the mom and pop shop and kind of put them out of business. And now the internet's kind of put the mall and some of the big box stores under pressure, right? So the things you can get on the internet you get, but where you want that personal service, personal contact, go enjoy a meal with your family. I think people prefer going to our downtowns, which is fine with me because that's spreading, I think, the disposable income that people have across the county a lot better.
And a lot of people go to Robinson. Let's face the facts. I mean, I have grandchildren. I know what they want to do. They don't want to go to our mall anymore. When my son and daughter were children and older, they loved, that was the place to go, was the mall. And now they do not want to go to our mall. They want to go to other malls. And it just breaks my heart. You know, we've got a beautiful place there if they would just upgrade it.
I've also
and not gouge the rentals on them.
Feel the same way.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I think it needs to turn into more of a convention center. The most traffic you'll see at the mall is when the JCs have their flea market, or when the senior center has senior days, and there's booths set up all around there. You got people coming in like crazy, and with the lack of interior tenants, I'd love to see somebody, Namar, sell it to somebody that sees a different vision for because you already have the other tenants that have enough support. I mean, Rural King seems to be doing okay. Penny's is leaving now. Boscov's somehow has been surviving those trends pretty good. Dick's, who knows what's going to happen there. But those interior shops and stuff, I think more of a convention type center
Needs to be redeveloped.
would be the best approach
Put those
for turning
homes,
that around.
like you see on the river, put them around the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Make it people where they can do like a downtown shopping area. We need somebody to develop it, to bring that back.
Namor has a mall in New Jersey that I recall from my youth that the township of Voorhees bought, and they put all of their municipal stuff in there. They have the courts in there.
Oh, wow.
You pay your taxes in there. They still have a food court, and then they turned some of the other into some affordable housing units, and they really turned it into the center of that Voorhees, New Jersey township.
I've seen that in California too. That's a way to
Center Township's building new stuff. They
building it around it.
Maybe should have looked at the mall to take that over rather than build something new and bring all those services in
the
there.
reason that was all developed that way, I was there. I was a supervisor, was to get them to move and do something with the mall.
Yeah.
And quite apparent, you see, they haven't done what they were supposed to do. So we built all around them. We developed. I was a young supervisor. I borrowed $6 million with two other supervisors on that board. I was petrified. I couldn't sleep at nights.
Wow.
We created that district. We put the water, the sewer, all the infrastructure, and nothing happened for a couple of years. But when it did start happening, we were the only place in town. And then Chippewa followed right after us.
Walmart kind of got the ball rolling, is that right? When they took over the GB Plaza or
GB
whatever.
Plaza. You remember the parking lot in GB Plaza back in the day? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You could lose your car in that parking lot. You hit one of those holes.
Another key thing, across the river, you did Lowe's and that.
The biggest problem was when McDonald's moved out.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get a drive-through the way they were situated there. So they just moved the building out, and they ended up tearing it down. Of course, they came back later once Walmart was placed there, and you see what we had to do to put Walmart there. You see the wall of Jericho behind it on the side of it. Yeah. I still can't believe how that wall stays. I mean,
Keep Penn State Beaver from tumbling over on it or something. Yeah. Now, I know it's an Allegheny County matter, but with the new airport. But are you guys part of the conversation? Do they let you know what's going on with the new airport?
Yeah, we're in constant conversation.
In the old days, we used to meet. We used to go up the airport and meet. It was called TRICAP, but that sort of just went by the wayside. But we get briefed. We're told.
Yeah, I got to take a tour. SPC, Rich Fitzgerald and folks. We've had a tour there. The chamber, Beaver County Chamber, just had a tour there. Paul Hoback, who's leading the project, is on the Beaver County Chamber board. Run into him all the time. They're doing a great job there, and it's a tremendous benefit as we continue to sell Beaver County and have all of these different entities come in. We've got the river, the great industrial highway, but also recreational opportunity. We're blessed to have the Ohio River come through there. We've got the highways. We've got the turnpike that runs right through the top of it. So we've got the river, the roads. We've got the rail. We've got the two biggest rail.
That's
rail,
why Shell
across
came
there.
here.
Yeah.
That's why Shell came.
And stuff. We have the connectivity now with our broadband and stuff. That's why AI and those folks. We have that plenary broadband thing coming up the Turnpike. That's going to has a terminus there in Beaver. Beaver County. It's going to make a left-hand turn and head towards the power supply and shipping port and stuff. So we have all the benefits in that proximity to the population and markets here in the Midwest.
But we've
and
always
Northeast
had
that makes us the envy of some other counties for our ability to attract some business.
150 years ago, that's why all those magnates came here, Carnegie and all them, because we had all those entities.
Natural
we had the
resources, the
rivers,
rivers.
natural resources.
Yeah, and that proximity to the airport is like the fifth major link there. I mean, we're 10, 15 minutes away from.
Any insight
from
on
major.
when it's going to open or what? How
They're still
benefits?
projecting next year, so I think it's getting close.
We're talking. Let's ask the commissioners. We're joined by Commissioner Antonio Amadio and Commissioner Jack Manning, and we have a caller. Let's take a caller and see what's going on. Hello, you are on with Ask the Commissioners.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
You need headphones, guys?
You know, we don't have them. Oh, there they are.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear that? Hi, it's
Can you
we're,
guys hear?
we're getting headphones for them. I sprung that on them without having their headphones ready. But Jack is plugging in and Tony's ready. All right, yeah, you were on with two of
Good
our.
morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you all doing?
Doing well.
Good, good. Hey, listen, I got two things to comment on. When the cracker plant came in, there was things sprouting about how we were going to get different kinds of restaurant, like not Chipotle, but
We
like
got it.
Bahama Breeze and all them guys. And we haven't seen anything in Chipotle. I don't know if you even have to. Is it an eating restaurant?
It is, and it
Yes.
won't take out.
Partial.
I mean, it's
Wait a minute, I can't hear everybody at once. What?
it's considered a fast food restaurant, but it is a sit down.
You can sit
primarily.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. And my other question is, if the mall were to close, and I understand that I've heard too that the rent is pretty darn high, and that's ridiculous. But if the mall closes, is there a way you guys could maybe try to keep Boss Paws in Beaver County? Because I want to tell you something. They do a good business. It's a good business. And I buy a lot of stuff at Boss Paws, and I would hate to see them leave.
Yeah, they have a good business plan across the Commonwealth. Their Boscov's has kind of defied some of the trends that the Pennies and the Sears and other big box stores that sell a variety of goods have. The one here is very philanthropic. They work with United Way. They have coupons and different stuff and cater to seniors as well. We don't have a whole lot of influence on those business models. We can advocate. We can do what we can. If the mall closes, I think that would mean more that somebody would buy it and purchase it, and then we'd see what the new owner would do in terms of the anchor tenants that they have, primarily Dick's, Botkov's, and Royal King.
Well, U-Haul is a separate
Yeah.
building. It's separate, totally separate from the mall.
Well, even now, Royal King is set off from the mall, right? They
Yes,
used to be able to
yes.
walk from the mall directly in there. Now there's
But
like
I'm talking about the attached mall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a separate parcel that Macy's owned individually
Oh, okay.
that they sold to the U-Haul. So that's a separate entity, separate business in there from Nanmar's overall mall.
Excuse me, guys. So you would advocate to try to keep Boss Paws in Beaver County?
I will advocate for keeping every business that's in Beaver County staying in Beaver County and profitable. And we do as much as we can to help with grants, to help with regulations, to help with anything that can improve the business atmosphere in Beaver County and keep those places alive. The ones at the mall are challenging because those are big national, statewide firms that are really tough for us to have any influence on.
Yes, and there's a bill from
All
Boscov's
right,
that
well,
comes
you
to.
guys have a good day.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, it reminds me when we had Kaufman's in Rochester all by itself.
Yes.
Later became the Giant Eagle, that parking garage.
Hey, look, even the Targets and the Kohl's and those people are feeling economic pressure. So even the ones that are outside the mall in Long Wagner Avenue there, it's a challenging time for box store.
What's going to happen when
retails.
people Jack and my age die?
Yeah.
Well, that's
The-
not
the
till
young people-
40, 50 years from now.
Well, the young people shop online for
That's
the
not
most
what
part.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's the elderly population of Beaver County that does all the mortar bit shopping. And
the Gen Xers and stuff.
Yeah, you can't drive down Dutch Ridge Road right now without having to avoid a FedEx truck
Yes.
or an Amazon
I've
truck.
seen
or-
3 in my neighborhood at one time, 3
Yeah.
different delivery trucks.
Yeah, no, it's clearly changed the economic dynamics of anybody that's in the retail.
Interesting that she
sales
mentioned
business.
restaurants, and I would say Beaver County's restaurant scene is kind of picking up. We have the
Right.
Hilltop
It's so
returning.
good, yeah.
The Tap House is opening in New Brighton. There's a new place in Monaca. Frank G's now has the outdoor plaza. Hollywood Gardens is back and running again. So is there any...
I was talking about that this morning. It's the hardest business to be in, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The profit margin is so tough.
Yeah.
It's funny as we track that, and I don't have the exact numbers in my head, but it's almost a 1-for-1. A new business opens and an old one closes.
Yeah.
So if there's no net significant increase. We are in our riverfront towns, particularly. I think we're like on the plus side 5 versus that, but people come and go and businesses come and go, and it's a tough business to be in. The average, I remember talking to John Graff, who heads the Restaurant Association for this area, said the profit margin is 4% for the average restaurant, which means you have to have $1 million in restaurant sales just to make $40,000 a year.
Wow.
The ones with the liquor licenses do a little bit better than that, but still, you're talking about something that's 365 days a year. If you're running a restaurant, you're constantly worried about your help, your inventory, who's going to show up that day. It's a whim on a sunny day, you get nobody. Rainy day, you get somebody. Then the next rainy day, you don't get anybody. It's so unpredictable.
And the ones with the liquor license, we've seen they have a lot more red tape to get up and running. And
It is, and more costs to get up and running.
Yeah.
So it takes a little while to get over the hump. But those are the only ones that maybe in the
And if you
evenings
get
they make a
through
little
all
bit
that,
more.
then you got to pay your taxes.
It's I don't want to discourage anyone. I forget the business because I love my restaurants. But that's a reality. It is so difficult to make money. Most people do it because it's a passion of theirs to get into that business, and but it's really a tough business. It's really a tough.
We're going to make a little money by playing a break here, some of our sponsors, but we'll come
There you
back
go.
with more from Ask the Commissioner.
Hopefully it's a restaurant.
Oh, can I set one up? Ah, no. It's going to be Scrappy Joe's, though.
Scrap, scrap, scrap. They call him the scrapper. Scrap, scrap, scrap.
Hey, this is Donnie Iris, the original rapper. But you gotta check out the original Scrapper at Scrappy Joe's.
Thanks, Donnie. This is Joe the Chili, a.k.a. Scrappy Joe. And I want to invite you to take a scenic ride to historic Oil City, Pennsylvania to visit Scrappy Joe's and the Consignment Family Network. We are one of the largest co-ops in northwestern Pennsylvania. We have over 70 consignment vendor booths on display with over 1 million products to choose from, like antiques, collectibles, arts and crafts, and much more. Stop by and say hello to my partner Sue Downing and I. That's Scrappy Joe's at 4149 Route 257, Oil City, Pennsylvania. Everybody goes to Scrappy Joe's. See us on Facebook and Google.
Aloha, Pirates fans! That Hawaiian island feeling takes over the city of Pittsburgh August 8th through the 10th when the Pirates host the Cincinnati Reds. It's another Bucko Luau weekend presented by Levin Furniture. On Friday, fans can take home a bucket hat inspired by the weekend. Then Saturday, it's the fan favorite Hawaiian shirt giveaway. And Sunday, all kids 14 and under take home a Pirates cap. It's the Pirates and Reds, August 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets at pirates.com.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series
The grandstands rise to their feet. Green is in the air.
heads to the Empire State
Trouble, turn one, up into the outside wall. Derek Smithley gets a piece of the fence.
for a road course challenge at Watkins Glen International.
Connor Zilic has risen to the occasion, and he comes across the start-finish line, takes the checkered flag.
It's the Mission 200 at the Glen.
Listen to 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA this Friday morning in the 9 a.m. hour with guest attorneys Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. Attorneys LGKG specialize in auto accidents, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, motorcycle accident cases, and premises liability. The attorneys Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George will be available to answer your questions during the 9 a.m. hour this Friday on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com, invite you to tune in to Sounds of Faith. Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 for a mix of the best sacred music of all time. Sounds of Faith is brought to you by Crawford Tire and Beaver, the William Murphy Funeral Home, City Rescue Mission, MRS Physical Therapy, Circle of Friends, J&J Spratt Funeral Home, and Rome Monument and Inspirational Gifts. Sounds of Faith, uplifting, relaxing, and inspiring radio. Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Get ready for summer fun and tradition. The San Rocco Festa is back home in Aliquippa for its incredible 100th anniversary celebration. After a decade, this vibrant event returns to its roots this Saturday and Sunday, August 9th and 10th. Indoors at the St. Elijah's Center, 2200 Main Street. Savor incredible Italian food. Enjoy live entertainment.
and $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 for a 4-year degree, teaching or being a librarian or whatever else you may need a degree for, even engineering, when I can go into the trades and start making close to $100,000 a year right off the bat with the apprenticeships and the trades paying for those things, or CCBC doing a 2-and-2 kind of a thing, nursing, healthcare, those kind of opportunities. You can go out and start earning money right away instead of paying off school debt. And we're definitely seeing the pendulum swing back, and more people are getting into welding and the pipe fitting.
Stay away from broadcasting or journalism. That's my advice.
Yeah.
I used to say, stay away from teaching.
We're going to jump out to the phone lines again. You were on with Ask the Commissioners. Hello.
Good morning, Scott.
Oh, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Howie?
Commissioners.
Good morning.
Questions. I have a few questions to ask you guys. Why are so many businesses leaving Beaver County? Are we business friendly? And I look at Cranberry Township. I try to patronize Beaver County, but I look at Cranberry Township, and I see so many businesses booming out there. Then I go down to Rochester, and I see so much deplorable buildings that's going to waste down there. Well, what is the problem with Beaver County? We can't encourage business to stay and encourage business to come to Beaver County. How do we do this? Is there any answers, or you have any ideas?
Well, I would just say, and if you heard what I said a little while ago, in our riverfront towns, we actually have a net plus. But for every new business that comes in, an old one goes, and there's a lot of reasons for that. There's family reasons for that. There's retail, there's business model reasons for that. But for the most part, our downtowns are actually doing pretty well. Beaver Falls has turned the corner. Amherst is doing extremely well. Monaca is coming back. A lot of new businesses coming into Monaca. Beaver is a 1-for-1. Every time a business closes in Beaver, somebody jumps into that spot. And you look at Chippewa, you say no new businesses. There's a brand new Sheetz, Chipotle, Dairy Queen, and Starbucks coming in. There's a new Starbucks being built down the road here in Beaver and Vanport. So it may appear as though a lot of businesses are leaving, and a lot of the mom and pop shops do kind of age out. But I'll tell you, we are attracting business like I haven't seen in quite some time in Beaver County.
You say Starbucks in Beaver Vanport, or did you say Sheetz, or what did you say is coming?
Starbucks.
A new Starbucks?
Well, in Chippewa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chippewa is going to have a Starbucks.
Right on 51.
We're on 51,
okay.
Right before
where the Sheetz is going to.
PJ Lasco. Yeah, there's a Sheetz.
No, I got you.
Across from that, my understanding is there's going to be a Chipotle, a Starbucks, and a Dairy Queen in that.
I've heard that too.
Plaza. And you look at Center, the same thing. There's businesses coming and going all the time. I mean, retail is a tough business to be in, especially in the downtowns.
Excuse me, is there any progress going to be with North Light Shopping Center getting businesses down there?
We're not sure yet.
I don't know. We've gotten word anecdotally that Highmark has bought a good portion of that. I don't know what their plans are for it. They certainly have demoed a lot of buildings there, and they're cleaning it up. So we anticipate something happening, but I don't have anything
we hate to
specific.
say because things change rapidly.
Always.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame because I'm 77 years old in Beaver County, and I can remember we were so booming at one time. It was unbelievable. We had all the steel mills and everything else, which I know it went under, okay? But is there any possibilities of any companies coming back, like the building, for fabrication and stuff like that can boom Beaver County? Because, I got to live here and possibly die here, my old age and that. But I just hate to see taxes being raised on the poor homeowners and that. If we don't encourage this, if we don't encourage more business, I'm talking about fabricating businesses as well. They're the biggest hires. They're the ones that hire the majority of people. If there's any way we can institute something like that to bring these big businesses like that in here, I think that would be a blessing.
I will tell you that the three commissioners, the Chamber of Commerce, the Corporation for Economic Development, are responding every single day, every week, to inquiries about available parcels that we have. And we're having tremendous success and momentum along the Ohio River right now. You're going to see a lot of development in West Aliquippa. You're seeing a lot of stuff down towards Midland. Shipping port, I mean, a $3.5 billion.
Bruce Mansfield, there's
Bruce
going to be
Mansfield side.
15,000 jobs there.
Power plant's coming back. There's
How
going
about
to
the
be
Mitsubishi
an AI
plant?
data
What's-
center.
is that
That's
the
being built right
Mitsubishi
now.
advanced switchgear plant coming in. That's an $86 million project with a couple of hundred people coming into Big Beaver Borough. There's a lot happening. It just doesn't get some of the notoriety right now. Some of it's underway. Some of it's soon to be announced. And the downtowns have their particular issues. And keep in mind, each municipality controls their zoning, their code enforcement, their permitted uses, and those kinds of things. And if they aren't enlightened enough to know how to attract those businesses, there's very little we can do at the county level to we can influence, we can advocate, but that's all under local municipal control.
Maybe we got to get together, have a big powwow with these municipalities, and try to encourage it. You know what I mean?
We meet with them.
We do that fairly regularly. Yeah.
Okay, is it a yearly thing or what?
Well, yes. The COG has a meeting every year that is an annual event.
Council of Governments, that's what that is?
Yeah, Yeah, Beaver County Council of Governments. Actually, they have a meeting coming up here in later this month.
Is there a good response with the municipalities in the area?
Well, here's the trouble. Just like there's turnover at the state level, there's turnover with the elected officials at the county level, there's turnover at the municipal level, and you get new people come in with maybe a different agenda, different thought process, and it's hard sometimes to have the continuity you would hope to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these people got to wake up a little bit in these communities because we have to encourage more business. Because I see how Cranberry's booming out there. It's a shame that I hate to see. I want to see Beaver County prosper, and like I said, we don't need to have more tax levy on our homes and stuff. And if we can encourage more big businesses coming to our area, that would be a God's blessing. Believe me.
Yeah, well, and Tony will tell you that we haven't raised taxes since 2017 at the county level. It's not on our agenda. It's not on our radar. And that's why we control the finances. The big thing that people get hit with the taxes is the school tax, and there's some work to be done there with 14 school districts and the like.
I think maybe should be some mergers there.
I agree.
You're preaching to the choir on that one. I've been advocating that for quite some time, that we need to strengthen those schools and be able to find a way to keep those students prepared for the career path that's right for them. And you're not going to be able to do that when you're undergraduating, in some cases, 40, 50 kids a year. You can't afford those kids. So it's not just an economic thing with me. It's a preparation of kids for life and career opportunities as well.
I think we may have to start with merging the football teams first.
Yeah.
And that could be the precursor to merging the school districts. Because that right now seems to me to be the biggest problem.
It's a huge factor.
It worked for Central Valley. They're a powerhouse now.
I lived through that. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Georgie.
Thanks for the call.
Good to hear from you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I have another question I want to ask about recreation. Anything new there as far as the parks or, as far as this time of year, people, summer, they're out doing things?
Yeah, I mean, the parks are full.
Yeah.
I drove through Brady's one a couple of days. We had a horse show there. Again, I don't think I got much advertising, but there's that horse group, the horse arena there. They were a bunch of cars and horses out there doing some stuff. We continue to have a lot of events. We've got another triathlon coming up in September and some other events there. The shelters are being booked. Brush Creek and Old Economy, and here just a ton of events. We are looking into some neat kind of scavenger hunt type things. Tony Caltori and I and some vendors and other people were talking about that'll all be pretty nuts, but kind of like Pokemon Go. Kind of activities and stuff.
An artist named Lenny involved in that?
Lenny is very involved.
He's got a great
with that.
idea.
We do need to put more bathrooms in.
Okay.
We haven't put them in since, I forget how many years ago we put them in.
You're talking Brady's Run? Or
Brady's Run.
Particularly, too.
At Brady's Run, right? Because that's where most of the events are occurring. And we did put a water line through. So that's going to be it. And pavilions. Those pavilions are scary sometimes.
Need
You
some
see
upgrades.
the creatures that come out from behind them. But no,
we're
I'm
also
very, very proud of our recreation and our park system.
We're looking at the possibility of a bike track, a pump track, as well.
What is that? A pump track?
It's like BMX pump tracks, sloped walls.
Okay.
You could have a beginner and intermediate or other things. You could have to hold some events. It's a pretty extensive loop around some stuff. We're just in some preliminary stages of looking at something like that. The closest one from the design conceptuals that we've seen, you'd have to go to Cleveland in Ohio someplace. I think it'd be a great draw.
I think South Park has
And
one of those
amenity.
in the South Hills. Yeah.
We probably should build more pickleball courts too. because
Right?
That's
I'm trying not to. NACA just opened their pickleball. Chippewa just opened their pickleball courts.
more senior
Maybe
citizens
we
are
don't
being
have to.
injured by pickleball than anything.
Yeah, we have Dale Reckless is our physical therapist, and he talks about.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Where did I see a pickleball opening? Did they announce it at the mall or something like that, or somewhere in Center Township? Wasn't there a announcement?
There was talk of one. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's
I don't know of one in Center. NACA just opened theirs up by
That's
Anaheim
where it was.
Park.
The Anaheim Park.
Yeah, Anaheim Park.
Yeah.
Dave Kramer's done a great job there, and they've really done a lot of great work up at Anaheim Park. So they have their pickleball courts, and Chippewa just opened some at Wright Fields. I drive by there all the time. Cars up, all three courts are people waiting.
There's
scheduled,
communities talking about
for
it
the
all
games,
over, including Center.
I'm a big
So-
fan of the splash parks too.
Splash
Splash ones.
pads.
We saw how much the cost was if Beaver would have tried to reopen its pool. And there's still a group trying to do that, but the splash pads we've seen in Chippewa and Ambridge.
Yeah,
We have signs up at Brady's Run Lake not to swim at your own risk, and the place is packed.
Yeah.
I mean,
And is that an E. coli thing? Is that
Yeah.
what's the situation now? Any is it okay or? Is it,
well, the testing
it's
is
still
a
at your own risk.
problem.
We haven't tested it. We haven't tested it to confirm E. coli, but we know what's going to happen, particularly in that hot and humid weather. But because we've said swim at your own risk, no swimming.
Yeah.
We used to have geese shoots, but we don't do that.
Yeah. But it's just beyond that. I mean, even you saw Raccoon State Park.
They've
was
had that
closed
issue as
because
well.
of that issue. But the splash pads are the way to go. They got a great one in Chippewa. Potter Township's putting one in. Got the one in Ambridge. I think there's one in Beaver Falls as well. I think that's the way to go for most municipalities. If push ever comes to a shove with our pool at Old Economy, I wouldn't have a problem cementing over it and turning it into a splash pad.
He said that, not me.
I did say that, but I just think it makes more sense economically, and you can accommodate just as many people.
The young
and
kids are still getting something to
that,
do,
so.
and it's safer, less.
Still get out of the heat and have a chance to cool off and do some stuff. So
we are in the heat of summer. We mentioned we're joined by County Commissioners Tony Amadeo and Jack Manning. It's budget time coming up. And anything else you think is important for people to know as far as what on the county level you guys will be doing in the next month or so? Anything we
The
should
big thing is the budget, making sure it stays balanced, and we got the word out to our directors that withhold restraint. And
yeah, we got a couple of projects that need to be finished up. I mean, I mentioned the parking garage earlier, and that work will begin, but it's going to take through the end of the year.
What's the one by the courthouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on there?
Concrete.
Yeah, it's structurally
Shipping.
sound, but cosmetically, there's some chipping concrete and some rebar and some cleanup that needs to be
And that's
taken
How old is
care
that now?
of.
Is that like 20-some years old now?
Yeah,
or?
just about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just about 20 years old. So it's been on the works when we did all the concrete work and improvements in and outside of the
become a
courthouse.
logistic nightmare, though.
That was one that we hadn't
Is it
really
open at the
touched about.
moment? Or?
Right now it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it had been open, but it'll close down fully, I think, the 18th now of August, projected through the end of the year till December.
If we don't have another delay, which is possible.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just work that has to be done. I mean, we didn't have any alternative, and you already know how stressed some of the parking is in Beaver to begin with. So this is going to exacerbate things. Our employees will figure out a way to deal with it, but I am concerned about, one time a year visitors to the courthouse coming in, trying to find a place to park to walk in and do whatever they may do with one of our row offices or get a passport or do some other things. So I'm concerned about the public's ability to find some parking. But As you know, there's not a whole lot of good alternatives within several blocks of the courthouse to accommodate.
There's still the permit
that
parking,
close.
right, for residents in that area? They still enforce that? Or?
Yeah, there are certain permit parking, 2-hour parking
neighborhoods.
designations.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, well, it's been another great installment of Ask the Commissioners. I really appreciate both you coming in and keeping our listeners informed on what's going on. And,
Always. No, I always appreciate the
Thank
opportunity,
you.
Scott.
Yes. Thank you.
we should mention Dan Camp unable to join us or today, or he's vacationing or something. Don't know where he is. But he's welcome anytime, of course. He's been here the last few.
Yep, no, for sure.
Okay, well, guys, thanks for all you do.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Good
thank
summer.
you.
All
Take care.
Stay tuned. Words from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
What's everyone in Beaver County talking about? It's Beaver County Radio, brought to you exclusively by Fry Transportation. Beaver County Radio and Fry Transportation.